so that your shadow falls behind you.
Yes.
At noon, there's almost no shadow just below you.
So you said face the sun so your shadow
Falls behind you.
falls back.
It's so simple. Eh?
Mhm.
So just turn towards the light. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Or love.
Mm-hmm.
Expansion, positive, good, joy. Yeah, like in that direction.
Mm.
Appreciating the small things in daily life.
Yes.
Unify.
Mm.
Well, the negative, the bad, the hurtful come with 5 times the energy.
Mm. It's true.
So they seem bigger, heavier, harder. Than the good things we pay little attention to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's difficult when we get sucked into a big one. Sucked into a rocky time. Things aren't going good, or, all the struggles, right?
Mm.
That life puts in our path. How do we respond to it?
Yeah, not going our way, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that expectation.
But the process of preparing will inevitably, help you along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're making the soil ready for planting. You have to remove a lot of stones, and have to a lot of physical labor, and so that the seeds will grow well. You have to prepare the soil.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
You have to nurture the soil, and so on and so forth. And it takes preparation. Everything in life works in circles.
Mm.
And will come, yeah, sunshine after rain, and so on. Yeah.
Yes, time is always involved.
Seasons.
Yeah.
So in good time, we have to prepare for the bad times. Like in nature, even the animals, they're preparing for winter. And
That's right.
there will always be some tough times, and then it's get better. And
Yeah, and I think how we teach ourselves to deal with them becomes the prosperity
Yes.
with it.
Mm.
yes,
Whether we choose to get all wrapped up in it, and
Mm.
or choose to be above it.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, that is to reveal, right, the worldly ego or concern, belief, something that we've put in the way that makes it so. It's like to identify that and be able to surrender what
yes.
the realities that we've created. Because really that's what life is the realities of which we made it, and we try and plow through it. With no instructions.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't believe the instruction anyway.
Yeah. And maybe we do, right? We're like, we get them and we just don't know that that's what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's also funny, like you know, you get into your car. Who really read the instruction or like the manual
Yeah.
until something comes up?
Yeah.
Right? Oh, well, what's that lighting in? Oh, okay, I'll look it up. But other than that, like, I know how to drive a car.
Mhm.
They're all the same, you know. But then you watch like a few little videos on YouTube, like 5 things you should know, say about a RAV4, and you're like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Right?
There's a lot
Or
you don't
maybe if
know
I
how
were,
to
yeah.
do. Whew.
And I mean, I would say like there's a lot of manual that's written on the human body, but they're all different.
Mm. Mm.
They're all saying something different.
Yes.
And what does it tell you? We're all different. We're the same but different.
Mm-hmm.
So you create your own manual as you go.
Yes.
Oh, this works for me. Oh, this doesn't. It's really all that matters. Because if I tell you like, oh, the key is to visualize, which one, and like Einstein is like, yeah, but I don't see. Well, that's not helpful, is it?
And Heinz, it is a thing.
Mm.
I forgot the
Yeah.
name. I couldn't pronounce it, but there is a name that some people just can't visualize it. It's like fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've chosen for this incarnation.
Well, perhaps you have to work harder at it. I don't know,
Fight
right?
it,
Like,
fight it a little more.
yeah. No, surrender.
So when we're fighting surrender, what does that mean?
Kind of fighting really relaxation.
That's a good one.
It depends on it depends on which fight you choose.
Mhm.
When you choose to yell at the wind, it doesn't serve you.
We have a wonderful saying in South Africa, G.
Yeah.
It goes like this. Well, all you're doing is pissing into the wind.
But it's like our automatics is to fight when things aren't going our way, right? Or to get angry, frustrated. And it's like a thorn in the side, right? There's just something with it that needs to be released, which means identified to release. Now, that doesn't mean that everything turns into easy street. Like, life doesn't work that way. As much as we want to think it should for us.
I think it's the part of the programming,
Yeah.
Guilt, blame, and shame.
Yes.
We have to say, we have to blame something. Blame it on the rain.
Yeah. And it seems we do that because we don't want it to be us. We want it to be something else, something else's fault.
We can't, because we don't want to feel the feeling. It's unbearable for us. So you push it to someone else.
Yeah. Like
They can deal with that.
We tend to avoid pain, but pain is there to teach us to look inside.
Yeah, we definitely like to get away from it. So we can fight it, we can run away from it, we can push it away, avoid it, right? So those are ways we think we can deal with things in our lives. And most of the time, we're not even aware of what action we're doing. We're unaware. Maybe we're fighting. We're unaware. We're blaming. We're unaware. We're in a pity party, right?
I just want to thank you guys very much for today because I got to go, but it helped me. It's definitely that had helped me to talk this, to between us, and this amazing group, and yeah, I'm very grateful. But I plan to have a talk with my kid today, to 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 work together in this situation. You have to get the best out of it. So now they're all down home now. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chi. Have
Thank you.
a great day.
Yeah, have a
Blessings.
good
Love you guys. Yeah.
Blessings. Yes.
Goodbye,
Blessings.
Chief. Have a good one.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Later.
Later.
My word for today is feeling.
Hmm.
Mm.
Feeling peaceful power.
Mm-hmm.
In the heart's embrace.
So surrender.
Mm.
Yeah, I took a conscious decision of start feeling my feeling. And I was inspired by Ian. I don't know if you see his post on Facebook.
Mm-mm.
That's going to be my practice.
Hmm. I'll share this. I have a client with a 10-year-old little boy, and they're a year into, being just him and his mum. His dad's around, but there are huge challenges with the father. And so there was an incident, and he spoke to his mum, and his mum said to him, I'm so sorry that this has happened to you. Is there anything that you can think of right now that might help with how you're feeling? And he said to her, yes, just sit with me in the depth of my sadness, Mum. And I was just so blown away that the 10-year-old could express his need and what he was experiencing. And for me, that was such a testament to her mothering and to this child's inner resilience. Just sit with me in the depth of my sadness.
And our tendency is to want to take away people's suffering, pain, fear. It's like we want to take it away from you. We want to take it away from ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we don't want to be in it any longer than we need to.
Yeah, that's sympathy.
Yeah.
It's kind of match their tuning fork to our tuning fork. Right? But for me, like, when I learned that, I was like, huh. Because like you see that a lot, like to attract friends and stuff, if you want to be kind of the same energy in them, right? But when you're like, say, in a negative emotion, you don't want to be there, right? Like you don't want to be like at the same level because you're just creating more of that, right? Imagine someone is anger and then like, oh, I'll match you. I'll be angry at you too. Yeah, you think you're gonna resolve something, right? So I believe, yeah, like a story that you told us, like I think it's important to acknowledge their feeling, but not take on their feeling.
Yeah.
Right? So compassion to me is.
Yeah.
But I know, especially like father, son, mother, son, mother, daughter, it's much harder.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then RJ was saying like that's how you pick up the illness.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
My son is sick, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. Sick, and now you're like, oh, well, you gave it to me. No. He just opened the door and I walked right in.
Oh, I just remembered something. So in the tradition of yoga, when there are different paths that you can take with meditation, and one of them is what they call the path of devotion. And that is when you accept a teacher. And the instruction for a student goes like this: to have faith in the self with a capital S is to sit at the feet of the Guru. So now you've got to open your mind to the symbolism of sitting at the feet of the Guru. It's a bit different to how most of us translate that in the West, because it's not the point of worshipping the Guru.
Yeah, it's not licking his toes.
Exactly. It's allowing a teacher to give you guidance. But your main task, which your teacher cannot do for you, is to have faith in yourself, in the self. So small s in yourself, big S in the self. And, I've been thinking a lot, obviously, because what we're doing at the moment is packing up and clearing out. So when we got the letter from our landlord that we had to move, there's a certain kind of legal form that in Canada that your landlord can give you, which then gives you 2 months to move. So we kind of knew last year or already, that he wanted us out. And the main reason was his son, who's married with 2 small children, and they wanted the house for him, which is, in my mind, fair enough. But it put us in a very vulnerable position for a few reasons. So when we got the email, I went into some kind of a experience of shock, because it was now in black and white. And I was like that for a couple of days. And I didn't try, and I just stayed with it. I didn't try and change it. And then as I could feel the shock beginning to subside, something really strange and different happened. And there was this enormously powerful experience that it was important that we had to do this. And then the next thought was, I wonder what the gift is going to be. And I don't often have those kinds of experiences. Well, put it that way, I didn't in the past. There was always trepidation about how difficult everything would be. And it's not to say that this wouldn't be difficult, but the focus wasn't on them. And we haven't even gotten there yet, and I already had so many gifts from this experience. So it was the proportion, I think, of focus for me. There was more focus on the curiosity than what there was on the resistance. And that was a new experience for me. And I have no doubt in my mind at all that that new experience came from the practice and the practice of what we do every morning.
Yeah, your landlord gave you a gift so you
Yeah.
can feel that very feeling.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Pascal.
Have you heard the 5 lessons from hell?
5 lessons from where?
Hell.
Go for it.
It's not okay to be. It's not okay to be me. It's not okay to be me, wanting, desiring. Not to be okay to be me, wanting, desiring, asking. And it's not to be me, wanting, desiring, asking, and getting.
Wow. That's a very good description.
definitely a lot to contemplate on that.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about being born, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you had a powerful story regarding your landlords. It's starting to relating like a lot with that type of story.
Mm.
Embracing the change,
Yes.
not resisting it.
And I'm still really, I have a sense of nervousness about moving, because we have to leave Toronto because we couldn't find what we needed and what we could afford.
Mm.
And my husband and I, we're not spring chickens anymore by any means. And we've lived here, ever since we moved from South Africa. So our whole network is here.
So do you have fear moving to the new place?
Not like I had when we came here. I was a lot more excited about coming to Canada as a new adventure when I was, 20 years ago. But I was also very anxious at that time because I was so ill. I'd been fine in South Africa, and then about 6 weeks before we left, my condition got really bad. So there was a huge amount of anxiety around that. And now I'm 20 years older, and I don't have the same anxiety around my our physical. That just feel like this is all how it will be, and it will be fine,
Yeah.
whatever the outcome, kind of thing, you know.
You found a sense of detachment.
Yes, I think so, Pascal. And trust, eh?
Faith. Through which emotion did you breathe, like when you received that letter?
I would say
Like
it would
which
be,
emotion came up?
yeah, I think it was fear.
Fear?
Yeah. And ironic, well, not ironically, but I was very concerned about my husband because he's much older than me. And a move is stressful for anybody. And it's very stressful for people that are older. Stressful on their bodies, their minds, their orientation. And I think some of my experience was probably influenced just by the fact that I had experienced like another physical challenge earlier in the year. Um, but I'd already started to feel a small shift, and I was so relieved. And so I think the detachment comes from the experiences with my body that, I'm much more fragile than what I was 20 years ago.
And you're less sick,
I think so.
which is interesting, isn't it?
Mm. But Pascal, I have to say this, that one of the things that I've had to do is drop my expectation of what I should be doing.
Mm.
At that point, I was the mother of a young child, and she's grown up now. And I really know after yesterday that she's going to be fine. She was with us in group yesterday morning. I was sorry you weren't here. But you guys will meet at some point.
Was it her first time?
No, she's been a
Yeah.
few times before. Not many. I'd say probably about 5 or 6 times.
Mm.
But every time that she's been, sometimes she's been with me on the phone, and then other times she's been on her own phone, either because I've got too much stuff to do, and I want to carry my phone around with me, or because she's not at home, you know.
What's her name?
Kailash, or you could say
Oh,
Kailash. The name of
I
the
think I think I was on the call
with
partially
her.
with her.
Yeah,
Yeah, one
could be.
point.
Yeah,
Okay, but I didn't know it was.
yeah.
Hmm. What if all our illnesses is something we're holding on to?
No, I'm quite sure they are something that we hold on to. And I would imagine part of it is just an identity too, right?
Hmm.
And our perspective and understanding, which is all part of what happens with our identity. Where do we place it?
Yeah, we identify with the illness.
Mm.
That's why it stays there.
Yeah, and also we identify with ourselves as having to fight it.
Mm. Like there's something to fight.
Yeah, I mean, that whole public relations things around cancer, it's the war on cancer. It's the exact opposite of what you should be doing.
The war on drugs,
Yeah,
right?
we seem to like our military terms. I think that's why I love Thich Nhat Hanh's work so much.
Who?
It's Thich Nhat Hanh.
Yes,
Yeah, I think he's a Vietnamese um, monk.
okay.
He passed about 2, 3 years ago.
Mm.
You would like his work, Pascal. It is absolutely sublime. It is so beautiful.
interesting to be the observer.
Mhm.
Like, it was Wednesday. I got called in for overtime. So I showed up and I didn't know who I'm gonna be with. I wasn't going to do my regular stuff, so I wasn't going to be by myself. So I started working with this guy, and he's a nice guy, really, really nice guy. Just, but in the same time, it's like I could see like a level of consciousness, that I was at before, like complaining about everything, and then seeing myself
Yes.
just kind of like making the conversation interesting, doing a similar thing,
Yeah.
and kind of bring me back to where I was. And then like I was like, okay, no, it's so hard for me like to kind of like really express myself the way I express myself in a group like here.
Yeah. Because people think you're completely crazy.
Yeah. It's just too big of a gap,
Yes.
and then a few times I drop a little nugget, right? And then
Yeah.
it was received pretty well, you know.
Oh, that's great.
But then it goes back to it's that his fault or her fault or it's the government's fault or it's this, it's that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just interesting to kind of witness that, right? Like,
Yes.
and how much I get caught up in the story as well, right? In the drama.
Yes. And so the drama is about having to choose one or the other, and it's always one against the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pick a side, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Left.
Left?
Left.
I go straight. I guess we'll never meet, right?
Well, when I walk left and then I walk left again and left again and left again, I'll be back where I started.
Unless you start curving.
Yeah, a curving left.
You're curving left. Then we'll meet.
Well, we make it all up anyway, so why not? Right? It can be
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, I'm hot.
Is it hot day today, Hans?
Nah, I broke my fast, 2 hours, 1 hour, 3 hours ago, and after
Oh,
I ate, my body just started heating up.
wow.
Way too much energy for it.
That's so interesting.
At the same time, I also got tired.
Mm.
You woke up tired?
and didn't have a really good sleep. But I got tired from eating
Mm.
after I broke my fast. It was sort of like, whew. But at least my stomach's not growling anymore.
Yeah, and now you appreciate how much energy it takes your body to digest your food, because that's why you're tired.
Yeah. But I'm just enjoying the human condition, being able to complain. Grass is always greener on the other side.
Well, this year everything is brown. We didn't get much rain, so it's
Oh,
not much greener on the neighbor side.
it's the opposite here. We had way
Oh
too
yeah.
much rain. Way too much rain this summer.
Mm.